This is the afternoon shift. It is Thursday, November 20th. I'm Adam Llorens.
I'm Max Fuller, a.k.a. This one's kind of a stretch, but kind of if you say it in a certain way, it makes sense. A.k.a. Charlie Max Lynn.
Okay, yeah, Charlie Chaplin, of course.
Max.
Of course,
it's
yes.
a little bit of a stretch.
No,
but
it works,
yeah.
yes.
Don't be Charlie Chaplin for Halloween. Just be careful.
Why? He was a silent film actor.
I know, but he's got just the mustache.
Oh,
the
got
mustache
it.
is
Yes,
just be careful if you're going to be dressed up as Charlie Chaplin. I actually watched a Charlie Chaplin movie over the weekend.
Yes.
Silent film.
Yes.
I should throw Matos that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Modern times.
You watched a silent film.
I watched a silent film over the weekend.
Okay.
It was enthralling.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yes.
A meditation
on
the industrialization
of
the United States. It was a brilliant piece of work, honestly. Yeah.
More of a Buster Keaton kind of guy.
Okay.
Buster Keaton was the American version of Charlie Chaplin,
Basically,
right?
Yeah,
yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Charlie Chaplin was kind of like, I feel like he was the
guy.
granddaddy.
He was the guy. Yes.
Yeah. That was that movie. Famously, the first time you ever heard his voice.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
What film was it called?
It's called Modern Times.
Modern Times. It's crazy that used to just be cinema.
No, you should just be.
Yeah. You'd have an organ player or a piano player just kind of going on,
and that was it. And it still is hilarious to this day. I actually saw a recently not Modern Times, but a modern made silent movie. It was called Hundreds of Beavers.
Okay,
it's like a slapstick comedy. Completely, it's like obviously got a soundtrack, but there's no dialogue.
Yes,
and when I say it killed in the theaters, it killed in the theaters.
People loved it.
There was first of all, the theater was packed.
Yes.
And people loved it. That let me know that Charlie Chaplin, he's transcended. He would still be a hit to this day.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
100%.
Yes.
A.K.A. Froby Dick.
Okay, Moby Dick.
Yes.
I don't know the story of Moby Dick.
It's
but,
it's like a man versus nature kind of story.
Okay.
A man versus a whale. I think the whale did something to him, or it's like it's been elusive. It's evaded him his entire life, and it's like him versus the whale. He's out to get the whale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whale disrespected him, said something about his mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is there a whale that you're trying to go get right now?
Yeah.
There's a ton of
whales. I'm always after the whales.
Yes.
All different kinds of whales of all different kinds.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. What about you? You got any whales you're chasing?
No.
Metaphorical whales?
Yeah, maybe. They're more like dreams, but I don't know if there's somebody I'm out to
whale
go.
of a dream.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone I'm trying to go slay, but I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not trying to slay them.
Yes, I'm
maybe
not trying to
befriend.
Yes.
Whales you're trying to befriend.
Right, because I think whales are. I don't think whales are very friendly to humans, though. I
don't think so either.
They're less friendly than sharks are. I think.
Yeah, I think they are.
I think yes.
Sharks mostly leave people alone.
Yes.
Unless you look like a nice, yummy seal.
Right.
But otherwise, I think whales are pretty mean.
Yes. Yeah. Seals are very cool animals, by the way.
Seals are cool. Yes. Dolphins are great.
Yes.
Very smart.
Yes.
Very smart animals.
Yes.
AKA the Black Rapunzel, since we were just talking about Disney right before we got on the air.
Sure, right.
About Disney princesses.
So just with the hair.
With the hair, with the afro. If I got it wet, I could have straightened it out, then I could be very Rapunzel-like and let down my hair.
Have you ever thought about trying to do something? I don't know what it could be done. Can you
braid it? I've had braids. I've had cornrows. I've had every hairstyle.
You've had cornrows.
I've had cornrows.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I used to have a flat top.
Oh.
I used to have a fro hawk.
Oh, okay.
I was bald one time, like Tupac bald. Like super duper bald.
Yeah.
I've had pretty much every hairstyle a black man can have except for dreads. That's the only thing I haven't tried yet is dreadlocks.
Is that in the works?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, and I don't have the right head shape for it. You know, only certain people can pull off dreadlocks. I feel like it wouldn't look right.
Yeah.
But I've thought about it. Maybe put some pigtails or something.
Okay.
We could do a little. What do you guys think? You know, a little. Something like that, like little Princess Leia situation.
Yeah.
Like Allison had on Halloween. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So,
yes.
You know, everybody that's seen Star Wars out there knows what I'm talking about. Princess Leia situation, or maybe like a ponytail.
Right.
I don't know. We should have maybe we should have someone come in and try to style my hair sometime. That would be fun.
I think it would be a great. We had a barber. We had Nick Williams come on.
I don't need him to cut my hair. Just style it.
I'm about to see Nick in about 2 hours
from
now.
Look at
that. We had this segment. That was your opportunity.
I should have asked him.
We could do somebody else. We could do it again. I do not know how to braid hair. Maybe Paul. I think Paul Milgate actually knows how to braid hair.
You know how to braid hair?
I think he might.
My kind of hair?
I don't know how to braid hair. I have had braided hair. I've actually had cornrows before, but that's a very long story.
I don't know. Yeah. You've had cornrows before?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I was on a shoot in Africa.
Is there pictures?
There are. I'll dig them out. I'll see if I might try and dig them out and play it before the end of the episode. It was happenstance. I was on a shoot in Africa, and I got sent ahead of the rest of the crew just to kind of like make sure that the contributors were going to be there. And I'm sort of sitting there with people that they don't speak any English. I don't speak any French at that point. I certainly don't speak Susu. And I'm sitting there trying to just be polite and just sort of using body language to communicate with these people. I'm in this little tiny hut, and I'm like, oh, and I pointed to the hair and I was like, it looks good. And then all of a sudden they come over and they start doing it to my hair, and I'm sitting there going, well, I guess this is how we're gonna bond for the next hour. And I sat there and they braided my hair, but not only did they braid my hair once, there was a bit they weren't particularly happy with, so they unbraided half my hair and did the rest of it again.
True professionals.
Wow.
And so then I just felt so uncomfortable that because we were still filming with that contributor for the next couple of weeks. So I was like, I felt like in case I went back for another shoot, I had to have the cornrows still in. So I rocked cornrows for a couple of weeks in Guinea in West Africa.
The more you know about
Like something that would happen in a movie. Like the white guy goes to Africa
Right.
and comes back with
cornrows.
I was not going to rock them back because I did not want that. I didn't want everyone to be like, oh yeah, classic white guys going to Africa, come back with cornrows. My situation was, I did not think I was going to end up
Paul's
with
my
cornrows.
slave name.
I didn't really want cornrows, but I ended up with cornrows. They were forced upon me, but it's a fun story now.
It's a great story.
That is really
It's
funny.
a great story. We need a picture. We definitely need a picture.
I'll do my best to do. If you guys chat for long enough and I don't have to switch too much, I'll look through my phone and see if I can.
We definitely need pictures by the end of the show.
Yes,
For sure.
yes.
Have you ever had cornrows? Have you had any other hairstyle besides the fade?
No hairstyles besides the fade. I do have a pretty wicked cow's peak, so I try to maintain the cow's
For
peak.
sure, yeah.
My hair is actually very long right now. I know, like I said, Nick Williams, he's about to cut
long,
my hair.
yeah.
Nick Williams is watching. He watches the show regularly, so
Oh,
if he's
what up,
watching,
man?
I'll see you in a couple hours. But yeah, no, he and your name comes up every time I'm in the chair.
Hey.
He said, Max, I could cut his hair.
I believe it.
He said he can.
I
so,
believe it.
Yes.
I would trust him.
He does everything from Minnesota Wild players. He also does Minnesota basketball player. Like he
Look
does.
at that.
He does.
He's got range.
He's got a lot of range.
A lot of barbers in Minnesota don't have that range.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
but he does.
He's got a lot
Shout
of
out to
range.
Nick.
A lot of range.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm thinking about maybe doing something different, but I love the fro. I love the fro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always wanted it, even when I was a kid.
Well, it's kind of your thing
It's
now.
part of me.
Yeah.
It's like part of my calling card. It's
Yes.
like if the Joker showed up and he didn't have makeup on. He'd
That's
be like,
right.
who the hell is this guy? You
That's
You
right.
wouldn't even know who he is.
That's right. We're waiting for the app. Welcome back to the afternoon shift here.
AKA a million other things. Welcome back to the afternoon shift.
Yeah, the episode wouldn't
officially start without that.
Without
Yeah,
that.
It's like the Gallarhorn at the Vikings game.
That's
It's like
right.
our version of the Gallarhorn.
That's right. Or JJ running out of the huddle and getting everybody hyped.
Meditating, yeah, when he's 9.
9. Everybody hyped up. We are going to talk about the Vikings-Packers game on today's show. There's a lot to talk about today. It's been a very busy news day. Waymo, it's coming to Minneapolis. That's going to be a great discussion. We're actually talking to somebody from Waymo on the show today. It's going to be great. Saturday marks the 62nd anniversary of President Kennedy's assassination in Dallas, Texas. Oof. We're just going straight to the source. We're talking to the Dallas City Archivist, which I know is a little nerdy. Whatever. I like this stuff. I'm really excited about this.
And obviously, it's one of the most documented or talked about and discussed events in American history, maybe even world history. I don't know how much people are fascinated about it outside of America, but I know we're obsessed with it, and we have been for 62 years?
62 years on Saturday. So we're excited about that. Ian Leonard, he'll be joining us in studio. He'll be cleaning up his Krispy Kreme. No, I'm joking. That was cleaned up. That was a fun interjection by him. But he's retired from Iron Man. He's announced.
He's done.
He's done. He's done.
Retired.
He's done. We have video. He finished one this weekend in Phoenix. Not from meteorology.
Oh,
right.
Okay,
Yeah. Just from running and swimming and biking. Yes. So,
okay. I thought you just meant he's an Iron Man in general, but you meant from his Iron Man marathon.
From his marathons, yes. Yeah. So
I'm not like I ever got to see him run.
I know. But where you can see some of his runs on his Instagram account. And he follows the afternoon shift, which we're now up to 251 followers.
Really?
252.
We were at 251 at the end of the show yesterday.
Okay.
Did we get any more love?
It's something like that. Go
254.
See, I said 300 by the end of the week. Who knows? It could happen.
It could happen.
It could definitely happen.
We got to go viral.
Give us a follow there at Afternoon Shift _Fox9. We would appreciate it. There's a lot of great content.
Turkey talk, political crises management,
yes,
the arts, hockey, Oregon Trail,
yes,
shirtless pictures of me. All types of stuff is on here. Wait, did I say that out loud?
You did.
I didn't mean to say
remember,
that
there was the day where you said we need more Max content.
We need more Max content.
And now there could still be more.
Still could be a little bit more.
There could be more.
A little bit more. But that's okay. That's okay. We're at 254. We're growing.
We're growing.
Regardless.
Yes. We do have some breaking news. A little bit.
Is this
going to
be on the Instagram?
We've got Paul and cornrows. Let's pull that. Let's pull this up here. Here we go.
I don't know. Should we be? This is courtesy of my wife, who, lovely wife Kaylee, listening in, watching the show every day. She has dug out this picture and found it for me.
Here it is.
Here we go. Look, Max's face. I feel like I just need to go to a tight shot of Max's face for this.
You just do a double take here. Just do a split screen of these two.
I didn't
Here we go.
Kind of see the picture.
Hold on. I know. Let me put my glasses
There
on.
it is. There it is. There it is. There's a million other things to say.
You ever seen the rapper Riff Raff?
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of Riff Raff?
No, I have not.
Oh, we can't show his picture, can we?
I
don't think we're allowed to. You look exactly like Riff Raff. Like you look.
Is that a compliment?
You look like you got a bad ska album about to come out.
I love what you can't really see here in this picture, but is that the way that they didn't finish it off. It sort of has this really like sort of ponytail sort of component to it. If you look at that, okay, there you go. There I am. Paul Milgate, aka Riff Raff.
Riff Raff.
If you look at the very top of the photo, when I put it back up, you can actually see that they sort of just end with all these sort of like mini pigtails. It's not even like properly.
How'd you do? Like they still kept your like your what did you call it? Your quaif. You know, they like your little whoof. Like your little swoosh, they kept it as like I never seen diagonal braids like that.
Yes.
That's talent.
Somebody did a very nice job with your hair, Paul. It really did.
Look at that kid. That kid's looking at you like, look at this freaking this white guy's got cornrows.
To be fair, once I had the cornrows, they weren't so scared of me.
Hey.
You know, like, so there was a winning component. There's a photo I've got out there too that I'll try and find at some other point. I'll show you these kids that had never seen a 6'5" white guy before in their life, and they were just terrified of me, and they just would burst into tears.
That's oh my god, that picture is so funny.
That picture is definitely something.
Is so funny.
It's definitely something.
Anyway, so there you go. There's some frivolity for Thursday afternoon on the afternoon shift.
Amazing. You never know what you're going to get here on the afternoon shift. Quickly, we got a couple headlines here. TSA security. If you forget your real ID or passport, you can pay $18. This is a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
yes.
That seems like a really good deal because the alternative is what? Not getting on your flight or getting stranded somewhere possibly. So I think that's a pretty damn good deal.
Yes.
Normally there's not a lot of good deals at the airport. They're upcharging on stuff, but that seems like a pretty damn good deal to me.
Yes, $18. If you forget your real ID or passport, you're golden at security.
You ever lost your passport or ID before?
I have not. I've been very fortunate, but I've heard horror stories from people, and they can't get on the plane. But now it seems like I don't know how they're going to identify you with that 18. But there's got to be some.
I think they have some type of new biometric way. From what I was reading about the story, but I've heard some horror stories as well. I'm paranoid about my ID and passport wherever I go. I'm patting down my pockets 15 times. But that seems like a good insurance policy just in case.
I have a question about this though, and I don't know if you have the answer to it. But like, do you already have to have a real ID for them to be able to verify you biometrically? You just maybe you've left the physical card at home, but like you still have to have gotten a real ID. I'm assuming that's the only way that I can imagine that this makes sense.
It's a good question. Because I know that
this headline just specifically says no real ID ? It could cost you $18 to go through TSA checkpoint. So this one makes it seem like you don't need a real ID at all.
Yeah.
So
maybe if you don't travel that much, it's not even that bad of a. Maybe you don't even have to get the real ID.
You just factor it into your travel costs, and it's no big deal. After
exactly.
That. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just updates from the airport. We got them all here.
Alternative identity verification program. So you do not need a real ID as far as we can tell.
That's fascinating. $18 if you forget at home. It's great. Speaking of money, today is Give to the Max Day. Not Give to Max. Give to the Max Day.
Every year I get tricked.
Every year.
But it's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause. It's Minnesota's annual day of giving to help nonprofits and schools around the state. There are a list of places to donate on Fox 9's website, so go to fox9.com. Do you have a favorite cause or charity that you like supporting?
Yeah, for sure. Just at the Max Show on Instagram, IG, 2X's. It's really just it helps young brothers all around the world, and it's just I'm sorry. It's a really cause that's personal to me, close to my near and dear to my heart. So at the Max Show on Instagram, I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah. Is that the Venmo handle too?
I could give the Venmo handle. I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Probably not.
Yes. But I could.
It's a nonprofit.
Yes. It's a nonprofit.
Yes.
It'll go to a good cause.
Yes. It'll definitely go to a good cause.
What about you?
I like Special Olympics.
Yeah.
Special Olympics.
Absolutely.
Ian Leonard is a huge Special Olympics champion as well.
Heck yeah.
So the Special Olympics USA Games are coming to Minneapolis next summer. So go to donate to SpecialOlympics.org.
Let's do it.
There are a list of places to donate on Fox 9's website.
Real places. Don't go to my Instagram to donate.
Well, go to the Instagram.
Go to my Instagram. You just don't donate money. I mean, if you
exactly
donate a message that says I'm cute or something, you can donate that too.
We take donations of all types here. We are going to go to commercial break, and we are going to come back with Waymo. An executive from there is going to talk to us about them coming to the Twin Cities. This is big news. We're really excited to have them. Waymo coming up next. Shift. Max, big news this morning with Waymo in Minneapolis.
I heard it's coming to Minneapolis. The Waymo driverless cars. There's about to be way mo of them on the streets of Minnesota.
Well done there. Well done. We're really excited about having Waymos here in the Twin Cities. And joining us now is Waymo's technical program manager, Mr. Jake Treader. Jake, welcome to the afternoon shift. How are you?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good to be here.
This is huge news, Jake. There's a lot of people here in the Twin Cities and across the state of Minnesota that don't know what Waymo is. Can you introduce your company to this Minnesota audience?
Absolutely. So Waymo's a autonomous technology driving company. So we specialize in autonomous ride hailing right now. So we're in 5 major cities in the U.S. and we've done over 100 million miles, and we're doing well over 250,000 trips per week in those 5 major cities. And in those cities, you can hail the Waymo similar like you would Uber or Lyft, except there's no one in the driver's seat. So it's a totally different experience for people, but we pride ourselves on a very safe track record. So,
Jake, you mentioned it. You're in 5 different cities, and I'm sure you guys are looking to expand all over the world. But what made Minneapolis as one of the first places you wanted to expand to outside of those 5 cities?
Yeah, so we're at a really exciting time for Waymo. We're at the precipice of a lot of scaling. So we're going to a number of different cities. And with our 6th generation driver, which is our new Waymo driver, we have, basically unlocked the capability to tackle markets like Minneapolis with snow and ice. So we're really excited about that future expansion. And Minneapolis is, a very lively, urban center that we want to be able to serve.
Jake, you mentioned the Waymo experience. Take us into that experience. What should a rider expect when they get into a Waymo vehicle?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's an app on your phone, and you can hail the car similar like you would a Uber or Lyft. It's really nice because all the cars look the same, but you will have your initials on the top of the vehicle, so you kind of know which one is yours. You can unlock it with the phone, or walk up to it and it unlocks automatically. You can ride in the front passenger seat or the rear seat. We don't let riders ride in the driver's seat for obvious reasons. But yeah, then you just hit the start ride button once you're buckled, and it will safely take you to where you want to go. You're able to control the music, the temperature, everything in the vehicle. So riders really like that kind of personal, private experience that you can get in a Waymo.
Sounds like something straight out of the Jetsons. Like, we're really living in the future, brother.
Yes.
This is super exciting stuff here.
Yes.
Jake, I'm curious, like, how did you guys design these Waymo cars to be autonomous the way they are?
Absolutely. So we start with a really comprehensive sensor suite. So we have LiDAR, which are essentially kind of like lasers that come out from the vehicle. So we can see 360 degrees with this LiDAR technology. And then we have radar, which also helps us see in different weather conditions. And then we've got cameras, and the cameras have kind of tiny wipers and heaters on them, and even cleaning fluid to wipe off all the road grime and salt that might accumulate on sensors in Minneapolis in the winter. So we bring all these sensors together to be able to see the world around us and operate in a very safe manner. So we're basically have a lot of safety studies completed, 11 times safer than a human. I've personally taken a ride in the San Francisco Bay Area on freeways. So we're just now rolling out freeways to our public riders. And so it's really cool to see this expansion to airports and freeways and things like that, really building a comprehensive service for all our riders that they can depend on.
11 times safer than a normal human car. I think that's like a huge takeaway from this. That really is amazing. You mentioned getting on the freeways up in the Bay Area. I know that Waymo said they're coming to Minneapolis. Does that mean that the cars have to stay within the Minneapolis city limits? Would they be able to go over to St. Paul? Could they go on further rides in theory?
Yeah, right now we're focused just on Minneapolis. So we're in a testing stage. So right now what we'll do is we'll drive around Minneapolis. We'll put out a high definition map of the area that we want to drive in. We'll make sure that this, safety and performance of the technology is robust based on human operators driving the vehicles. So we start in a very small area of the city with a very small number of vehicles, and then we slowly expand over time to, serve as many riders as we can. So I've got no announcements right now on like further expansions, and so we're entering this testing phase, before winter to really get the most of the winter season in Minneapolis. But we're really excited to continue testing and, in the future, be able to offer a service to public riders in Minneapolis.
Jake, now one of those things that I'm sure you guys are going to have to hurdle over on the way to bringing it to the public here in Minneapolis. I'm sure that once you guys expand to these different cities, there's all types of different laws in different states and whatnot. Can you kind of walk us through that process of like what these laws are like and how they're changing and how Waymo is changing them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm an engineer. I don't work in the policy side of things, but, Waymo develops a really strong partnership with the communities and also legislative and policy branches of the cities and states that we hope to serve in the future. And so all I can say really is that we really try to partner and not, force anything on anyone. So I think the safety of the service is kind of demonstrated itself over time now that we have over 100 million miles of fully driverless operations. And so, once people experience that and see the safety impacts, we have this great partnership with legislators that, can allow advancements in, legislation to allow services like this to improve road safety in the communities that we serve.
Jake, do you think it'd be a fair statement to say that if every car in the world was a Waymo, that there would be virtually zero accidents, maybe zero altogether?
Yeah, are you going to be able to buy these things someday? Because I don't got a license, Jake. Listen, I'm your P1. I live in Minneapolis. I ain't got no license. I'm going to be riding these Waymos like every day. Are we going to be able to buy these someday?
I love it. I love it. I love the excitement. I appreciate it from you guys. So right now, our business model is to operate kind of a ride-hailing service similar to Uber and Lyft. We don't personally sell these vehicles. What we're really building is the Waymo driver that we can apply to many different vehicles, different applications. And so we're exploring kind of any and all opportunities in the future. So the vehicles that we'll be bringing to Minneapolis reside on a Jaguar platform and then a Zeekr platform, which, we incorporate the Waymo driver onto. We've also announced that we have a partnership with Hyundai. So the Ioniq 5, which you've seen, as a consumer vehicle, we're also deploying the Waymo driver on that vehicle. So we're really making kind of a generalizable driver that can go on multiple vehicle platforms and, bring this road safety to as many areas as possible.
And Jake, would you say the price of these Waymos very comparable to Uber or Lyft as well?
Right. Yeah. The ride hailing price that you'll see on the app, it will fluctuate based on the demand that the cars are seeing and things like that. But yeah, it's very comparable to, existing ride hailing services, but with that kind of maybe added benefit of having your own space. And, a lot of riders enjoy that distinction that, Waymo can provide for them.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, while we're on the subject of Uber and Lyft and these other ride-sharing services, I would imagine that there's probably some consternation from drivers from those ride-sharing services as well once Waymo comes into town, right?
Yeah, I mean, like any new technology, there's going to be, kind of some adjustment and getting used to things. But, we're not displacing human ride hailing in any way. We think those services can coexist, so people that want to take a Waymo can take a Waymo. People that want an Uber or Lyft that may be driven by a human, they can take that as well. So I think, providing options to people is really what we're after. And I think once people experience our service, they, really tend to like it and value it.
Yeah, and you talk about that customer experience. I would say it's been overwhelmingly positive that you've seen in the markets that you're in currently.
Right. So we're in 5 major markets right now: San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, Austin, and Atlanta. And then we just announced recently that we're doubling the markets that we're driving autonomously in. So we're going to deploy to more markets in Florida, in Texas, and basically double our cities from 5 to 10 over the coming months. So we're really excited about that, doubling of the cities that we're going to serve. And that's on the back of all the cities that we're announcing for testing, such as Minneapolis. So, no commercial service in Minneapolis right now, but, we're testing and laying the foundation for a commercial service in the future.
Super exciting stuff.
So much cool
It really
stuff.
does that. Sometimes you hear 2025 and it's like, that sounds so futuristic, but there's no futuristic things. Well, Waymo is here to make it more futuristic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's all thanks to people like Jake, one of the best engineers at Waymo. You are Waymo's technical program manager, Jake Treader. We appreciate your time, Jake. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.
Awesome. Waymo's to around the Twin Cities. It's
Look at that.
Gonna be a thing.
That's gonna be crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. The first time I ride one I'm sure it's gonna be a mind blowing experience.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see this happening.
Yeah.
We will have more to come from the afternoon shift right after this. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. I understand there were a lot of people in our YouTube feed commenting on the Waymo
they're
thing.
Getting excited about the Waymo thing. Some hesitation, some trepidation from our YouTube chat about Waymo. Let's see. Corey P. Says in these Waymo, lovemaking in these Waymo, pedestrian and scooter issues. So old Corey P seems to be concerned about people possibly making love in the back of Waymos. I don't know if that's at the top of the list of the Minnesota's lawmakers when trying to regulate the laws about Waymo. I don't know if they're aware of this issue. Maybe Corey P wants to write to his local representative. Yeah. I'm not sure, and I guess I can maybe understand the pedestrian and scooter thing. I'm sure that's something that they're working on, but I don't know about the lovemaking part, Corey P. But we appreciate your feedback.
I have been in a Waymo in San Francisco. It's a very cool experience. It's very safe. Okay. Like I was in there with my parents.
Nobody was back there making love.
No.
It says drugs smoked in there too. Were there any drugs smoked or any lovemaking going on?
Not even in San Francisco.
Wow.
Everything
ain't happening there.
Anything happens in Haight-Ashbury. No, it was all good there. You just heard our Waymo engineers say that they're expanding. They're going to different markets, and one of the markets is obviously here in the Twin Cities. Another market is the state of Texas. They're going to be going down to the great state of Texas. Texas is also the site, the city of Dallas in particular, was the site of President John F. Kennedy's assassination, which took place 62 years ago on Saturday, November 22nd, 1963. It's a day that's etched in American infamy. We are very pleased to be joined by the city of Dallas's archivist, John H. Slate, to talk more about this really pivotal moment in American history. Mr. Slate, welcome to the afternoon shift. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. Glad to be here.
It's great to have you here, John. Can you take us back to November 22nd, 1963? Why was President Kennedy in Dallas in the first place? Where was he going in that limo? Who was in that limo with him?
Well, let's see. Kennedy was in Texas for re-election campaigning in a way. Excuse me. There were two warring factions of the Democratic Party. A liberal and a conservative wing, and part of what he was doing in Texas was trying to cool things down and unite the party. But as far as who was in the car, I mean, of course, there was his wife, there was the mayor of Dallas, Earl Cabell, and there was also the governor of Texas, John Connally, and his wife.
So what was I mean, obviously we know kind of the story from there, but what was I feel like there's like it ends usually after the assassination, but I'm curious, what was the immediate aftermath like in the city of Dallas?
As you can imagine, it was pretty chaotic and crazy. Of course, there was a immediate search to try to find a killer, and so there like any police department in 1963, they did everything they could to try to identify what was going on. They ran up into the building where people believed that some of the shots had come from. They also took a lot of citizen tips. And there was also a lot of just coincidental things that were going on that kind of led to capturing Oswald.
John, you mentioned that the political climate there in Texas, and that was the reason the president was there in the first place, was to try to cool things down between the liberal and conservative sides of the Democrat Party. Of course, President Kennedy won the state of Texas in 1960, maybe largely because of his running mate, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who was a senator from Texas. Really, really a big Texas guy, a big sort of Texas bravo, if you will. Can you just take us back to that political climate of the state? And, LBJ becomes president. Obviously, Eisenhower was born in Texas, spent a lot of his childhood in Kansas. LBJ kind of suddenly becomes the real first Texan president out of this, right?
Yep, that's right. Johnson himself, I know, had, of course, pretty serious presidential aspirations, but when it looked like it would boil down to him or Kennedy getting the nomination, I think that he did probably the smartest thing, which was to join on the ticket instead of trying to split it. And I think he ended up becoming a major asset for Kennedy, because that meant that he would be able to be more likely to carry the South.
How did this change the city of Dallas? I know that's probably a loaded question and is probably a layered question that changes over time in and of itself. But it just kind of, I would imagine this was something that loomed over the city for a long time, and it took a while to kind of shake it off. So how did it change the city?
It sure did. It was a major point of embarrassment, and city leaders particularly were really resented having Dallas being labeled the city of hate and things like that. I mean, and so for many years, Dallas spent a lot of time trying to show, I don't know, cultural refinement, and that we're not just this, southern city, filled with crackpots and things. And I think the city really tried to put a foot forward to try to convince the country that the city itself was not responsible for Kennedy. Although it's really hard to to shake off something like that. People get a notion in their head. But anyhow, Dallas has spent many decades trying to become an internationally recognized city, and a place that's a lot more important than just the place that Kennedy died.
And to that point, I would say, along with Dallas, Memphis, of course, where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1969, they've had a really difficult time shaking off that sort of reputation off there even today. Bringing it today, John, do you think that Dallas is still impacted by the events of what happened 62 years ago? I know it is a tourist sort of attraction. You could go to the book depository building and all of that. Do you still think that Dallas is trying to move on from it, even now, 6 decades later?
Yeah. I think Dallas, I think in the 2013 50th anniversary commemorations really kind of turned a page in the Kennedy story. And I think the city has largely healed from it, but there's still a lot of notoriety. And yeah, we do get a lot of tourists. We get several million a year. As far as I know, we're right behind the Alamo as one of the most visited places in Texas, because people want to see history and where it happened.
What's like the second most famous thing that happened in Dallas? Like Tony Romo messing up the extra point, or like what's like we all know about the JFK. So like what's like the second most famous thing that happened in Dallas? Do you ever get to talk about happy stuff?
Is there something else? You're the city archivist that is of note there.
No, it's fine. I won't go on speculate on anything Cowboys now or then.
Fair point. John, you are the city of Dallas's archivist. What role have archives played in this story? Obviously, it's a story that is still fascinating people even today. People have developed their own sort of theories and whatnot. You've got all the facts. How have the archives played a central role in all of this?
Well, what we do in the archives is take care of government records in the city of Dallas, and there are about 11,400 items in our Kennedy collection, and it sat for years locked away in the Dallas Police Department. But what we've been able to do is get them digitized and put on a digital library that we partner with called the Portal to Texas History, and it's available for anyone to look at 24/7. And really has a great insight into police procedural work in 1963, what the police department did all the way leading up to the federal investigation. And it's an incredible capsule of history.
Now, I think it was earlier this year, the president declassified a bunch of files in relation to the assassination. Did that impact? Is that something that you guys were on top of over there in the archive division?
Yeah, I wasn't particularly personally concerned about what might come out. I think a lot of it is duplication. And, that's fine. If it is duplication, then sure, let's release it and let everybody know, just what's in there. So as far as new revelations. I'm not really sure how much is left there to uncover or scrape up from the bottom.
John, is there anything that the city is doing on Saturday to commemorate the anniversary? And if anybody wants to go visit the site, if anybody out there, any of our viewers here in Minnesota that are fascinated by this, where can they go if they go and visit Dallas and if they want to go see history firsthand?
There's not an official ceremony on Saturday, but for sure many people show up at Dealey Plaza, and there's always a commemoration of some kind there. It's mostly citizen-led, but it's usually pretty somber. There are people who offer prayers, and it's a annual thing, and that's what most people do in Dallas.
Yeah. John H. Slate, the chief archivist for the city of Dallas. We really appreciate your time and talking about this subject that's really fascinated so many over the decades, and it was just a real pleasure to talk to you today.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mr. Slate. Thank you. It's still a really, really crazy story, and it's still just like mind-blowing for so many people. Yeah,
something that we'll probably be discussing for the rest of our lives. It'll be eternally fascinating because of all the mystery surrounding it, and obviously just the degree of importance around it. I mean, you can't tell American history without talking about one of the most pivotal moments that went down there in Dallas.
No doubt. And for Lyndon Baines Johnson just to go to bed the night before, and you're the VP, and then a few hours later you're all of a sudden you're swearing in on Air Force One, and you got
crazy is that?
First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy in a bloody dress standing next to you.
Right.
It's just like surreal to think about.
I cannot even imagine what was going through his mind at that point.
No doubt. That was tremendous. What else is also going to be tremendous is Ian Leonard coming in studio.
Hey.
There is some winter weather to talk about with him. We want to talk about the Iron Man retirement, and Ian's also got to pay up on a little bet
That is true.
that he set for this World Series. Ian Leonard in studio coming up next. No, boys.
And no one's been in the water. It's terrible, awful. I mean, it's like that at every race. And you just, the first race you go to, you're like, oh, and then after a few races, you're like, oh.
We've got Ian Leonard in the house talking about all about the Iron Man and how clean and everything it is.
Yeah,
it's grimy.
It's a grimy sport. It's a really grimy in a great way.
Yes.
You know, it just has to be. There's just not a lot of time to get clean during the day.
Ian finished the Ironman in Phoenix, Arizona this past weekend.
Yeah.
You're how many Ironmans is this for you now?
It's 3 full Ironmans since 2019 and 7 half Ironmans in that time as well.
And your last? Are you officially
done?
Hanging it up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Question mark?
Question mark?
Oh.
I say
Are
that
we have
every
another
time.
segment in like 3 months where we have I'm back. We're
Yes.
get the facts like Michael Jordan style.
I'm unretiring. You know it's really, really hard. And the hardest part about Ironman is training for it. Yeah. The race is hard, but it's 8 or 9 months of training. And once you get to within 3 months of the race, you're training 6 to 8 hours a day. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I got a family, I have a wife, I have a job, I have other commitments. And finally, they say, it's victorious just to get to the start line. And I'm like, oh, shut up. No, we got to get to the finish line. I mean, but I think that makes people feel better about all the hard work they've put in. Yeah. And it really is. It's a lot of work. The hardest part about finishing an Ironman, afterwards, you're so used to eating like 6, 7, 8,000 calories a day. And you have to stop immediately. Otherwise, people go like, have you noticed how much weight Ian Leonard gained? Because you're just like, Oh, are you going to finish that cheeseburger? Thanks, I'll have some of that. So I've had to, you slow down on your eating right away.
Yeah.
So how do you, like, if I wanted to start training for an Ironman competition today, just cold turkey?
I would say, first of all, you got to get right with your head.
Yeah.
You can't.
I can't be swimming with this.
No,
It's not very aerodynamic.
no, not your head, not your hair.
Okay.
You got to no.
Oh,
No, the hair's phenomenal.
Oh.
No,
It's like, no, I'm not.
you have to make
anymore.
you have to make the commitment.
That's my friend Fax Muller. I don't participate.
If you make a commitment to yourself,
Yeah.
then you can do it. But you can't say, I think I want to do it and start training. You can't be like, you can't whine your way into it. You either it's Yoda.
Yeah.
Either do or don't do, or however he says it. But it's really important to commit. And once you commit, then it's about the eating and the training, and there's no days off.
Yeah.
And you're just getting ready. So look, 2.4 mile swim. There's no side of the pool to hang on to. You're out there. Yeah. Then 112 mile bike. Then 112, and then a full marathon. There's a great shirt out there. It says in the front, it says, "Oh, you do marathons," and on the back there's an Ironman symbol, and it says, "How cute," because we do one at the end of our race. Right. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. So you're out there all day, and look, I'm a completer, not a competer. That's an important. People are like, did you win? I'm like, no, of course I didn't. I'm just trying to get through this thing and get through life, and it's really intense, and it's fun at the same time, and it's rewarding at the same time, and it's hard, and it's dark. You go to dark places. Yeah. I mean, I'm a relatively bright area guy, but at about mile 130, I'm like, I hate everybody. I don't talk to me. I'm gonna. You go in this tunnel, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's. I don't even know how. Here's what I did. So people always say, "Well, you're out on the course for so long. How do you stay fueled?" Yeah. It's a great question. We don't need a lot of real food out there because you can't digest it properly. It's just gut weight. So a lot of it is these. Goos. So basically, it is highly refined sugar.
Oh.
And so, give you an idea, I have one of these before the swim, one when I get out of the swim. I have one every single hour on the bike, one as soon as I get off the bike, and then I have one every 3 miles on the run.
That's a lot of goo.
That's a lot of goo. So here, I want you guys to try it.
Okay.
So usually we rip that off and we throw it in our mouth. I want you to squeeze one of that, squeeze some along your finger and give it a try.
Squeeze some of that. All right. Cool.
And then these are Stinger Energy Chews right here.
All this is a sugar.
Yeah. Sugar and caffeine.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
And you
That's
eat
sugary.
How many of these do you eat now
Over the course of a race, I'll do about 16 of those.
Oh,
16.
gosh.
Yeah. Because think about this. I'm going to burn almost 10,000 calories during the race.
Right.
So you've got to take that in somehow, or you'll do what they call bonking, right? You're like, I can't go any further. So you have to take in calories. Here, try some of these too. These are energy chews. And the big thing about these are they're full of sodium.
Okay.
There's enough sodium in here for like a month. So you eat them, and they're delicious. They're good. They're like gummies, right? They're pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But imagine eating like 6 packs of those while you've had 15 or 16 of those. Yeah, now you're like, how do I hydrate? You can't do regular Gatorade. There's not enough of anything in there. So I drink something called Tailwind, and I take this. This is buoy. This is derived from sea salt. Squirt buoy.
Oh, what do you do?
Just
with this
take it. Just squirt it in your mouth. One squirt. No, squirt it. Until your head back.
Yeah, you can put your whole tongue on
There you
that,
go.
dog. Okay, I don't know.
Whoa, that's a little.
It's like seawater.
That's a little salty there, yeah. And you're just squirting that all day. That's not pleasant.
So basically, here's what I want to do. Yeah, this is what I wanted. I wanted you to get the idea that there's not a lot of glory in any of this.
No.
All the while, it's porta potties and there's just a lot going on.
It is filthy, like you said.
It is, and then you're trying to get through, right, 112 mile. So this one it was in Tempe. There were 3 loops on the bike to get 112 miles. So we ride the Beeline Highway out to the mountain, and you come back. It's a 38-mile loop. Yeah. Well, I was making about 21 miles an hour on the bike going up the mountain because the wind was so strong behind me. Coming down the mountain, while pedaling, I was making about 14 and a half miles an hour. That's how strong the wind was.
Oh, my God.
So, it's fight. It's fight all the time. And all the while you're trying to conserve energy because you still got the marathon at the end.
Right. How long did it take you to do the whole
Again,
thing?
important. And this is an important note from Ian Leonard. I'm a completer, not a competer.
Right.
So for me, it was flat 15 hours.
That is incredible. Wow. Just constant movement.
Oh, you never stop. Yeah. You stop to change your shoes. That's it.
You have to change out your shoes.
Well, you swim in a wetsuit.
Right. Yeah.
Then you lay down and somebody rips it off. Then you run in the change tent and you hit some goo. And then you put on your bike helmet, and you put on your bike shoes, and you get on your bike soaking wet. And you bike 112 miles. And then you run into the tent. Somebody takes your bike away. And you take off your bike helmet. And then you put on your running shoes. And you're still pretty much wet. And then you go run a marathon.
Do people have like pit crews, like the people that are really trying to win? Do they have like pit crews that just rip off their clothes real
Which
quick
would be an amazing idea, but you cannot accept any help for any reason from anybody who is not a competitor. Really? So I could help you change a flat tire if you're in it. But if I have a flat tire, a spectator can't go up and go, hey, man, I'm here to help you change your tire. You're like, dude, you can't. Don't touch my bike. Wow. Because you get DQ'd. Oh, man. So it's all about just you.
Yeah.
It's you against the world.
Yeah. Is there like specific requirements for the type of bike you have and stuff?
Yeah, and that's the punitive part of Ironman. You can ride on a regular bike, but most ride time trial bikes, and they're a composite. My bike weighs 4 pounds, and you have to carry all your tubes and extra CO2 and all of your liquid. I have 5 different liquid carriers on my bike because of how much you need to drink. It's a silly, awful, stupid sport, but I love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't totally retire from this.
I can't.
You're done. This thing sounds like it's almost like an addiction.
Did you know beforehand, or was it like the middle of the swim? You're like, damn it, I'm done with this. Or like beforehand.
I kind of look. If you know me, I love my family, and not a lot of people are going to come on here and say I hate my family, but they've basically since 2019 they've been like Ironman widows, my daughters and my wife. And I'm giving 6 and 8 hours and traveling and doing things. It's time for me to just put my thing aside. I've done 3 full Ironmans and just say, let's do some Sierra. So we have everyone who comes out and cheers. My wife makes everybody T-shirts. So here, you guys, not that these will end up anywhere other than the bottom of a bin, but They call us their try guys, and that's my best friend Alex Lakey on there. We train together, we race together. He's the guy who, when I was finished with my cancer chemo, said, "Hey man, let's do something monumental. Let's go climb a mountain." I'm like, I ain't climbing no mountain. That's stupid. And he said, well, how about we do like a little mini triathlon? I'm like, yeah, what a great idea. And it's turned into all of these Ironmans.
Incredible.
And we've done every single race together, and we train together. And I mean, if you want to have a great life, get yourself a friend like Alex Lakey, like I have, because it makes your life a really cool place to be.
No doubt. Maybe we could do an Ironman afternoon shift Ironman.
Yeah. Okay, on the bike part though, can you have pegs? Like, can I have pegs? Can I just like roll along, or like one of those little sidecars like Robin?
I'll pull you behind. You can be like on a longboard, and we'll get like a water ski rope, and you can just slide back and forth all the way. I'm like, you all right back there? You're like, it's all good. Like I'll do one of these. I'll be like, hey, here's a gummy. Have a gummy. I'll do that.
Was the last one the hardest one?
So the first one I did was the Lake Placid. And Lake Placid is all mountains.
Yeah.
Not a great idea for your first. That was the hardest. Second one was Mount Tremblant, which is just north of Montreal, Canada. Another mountain race.
Yeah.
A really hard race. But they're so beautiful. They're so rewarding. They're gorgeous. On the Mount Tremblant race, I was, you swim 1.2 miles out in the middle of this lake, and the sun popped up as I was making the turn. Came right over the mountain. And I stopped. I have goosebumps, and I could cry thinking about it. And I looked around and thought, this is so awesome. How lucky am I? I'm in the middle of the lake with 2,500 people. And I just stopped and I tried to water and I watched the sun come up. And it takes me back to like cancer and chemo and everything that was bad. And it's everything that's good, right?
Yeah.
So, there's some really nasty bits, but most of it is the most incredible thing I've ever done, other than marry my wife and have children. It's right up there. And been on the afternoon shift 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. I'm not even sure. Do I get a portrait up in here at some point?
Yes, I know you are a most visiting guest. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm not a guest. I'm becoming like a cockroach at this point. Great. Leonard's back. Great.
Gave you the donut. It was your 4th appearance.
Oh, that's.
You get a donut for free.
I forgot that. Yeah, in talk shows and on podcasting, it's 4th show is donut.
Yes.
8th show is chicken wings.
Yes.
12th show is lunch. And we have to speak about that in a minute. And your 20th show is Max shaves his head.
Oh. See, we've been on the topic of this.
Yeah,
Alec
we have.
Williams
Just talking
and-
about changing up my hair.
Yes.
But it has to be monumental. It has to be cash, and it has to be for charity. Not in a bad way, not in a silly way. It has to be a real, like committing to an Ironman. You commit, and if you do that, I guarantee I will help you raise money. And whatever charity you choose, I just want to be a part of it to help you raise money.
Good.
Yeah, when we were just talking about my favorite charity, the Max Fuller Foundation.
Ooh, that's a good
At the
foundation.
Max Show on Instagram, I'll tell you more about it. Just send me a fee first. I can't give out the information for free.
Minnesota's hot for Give to the Max Day.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Knowledge is power.
Yep.
Power is money. So if you want the knowledge, then you got to give some dough. So
Max Fuller
the
Foundation.
Max Fuller Foundation.
They are doing so much in the community.
Yes.
So much.
Brothers
Yep.
around the world.
You're not a cockroach on the afternoon shift. You're about to become an actual guest host of it for a whole day, right?
Well, I mean, I think there are some people who are higher up in the chain of the hierarchy of command, if you will, who would decide that. But here's what I would like to do.
And we should take a step back.
Oh, yeah,
Why
okay.
is that?
Well, we actually have. Let's roll this video in. Let's roll it in.
Oh,
for
great.
before we
You got
start
the
today.
video. Great. Uh-huh.
Oh, can we hear it?
Basically, I'm saying, I love Max's hair. And you're going, no way. And I'm going, oh.
We got some technical
Look at his
difficulties
hair.
on the audio. Yes.
Okay.
We had a bet going
Yes, we did.
for the World Series. You're a
Yes.
big Dodgers fan.
Yes.
I was born and raised in Canada, so of course I took the Blue Jays. Not really my team, but I did Captain Canada, and the Dodgers won.
They put up it was a great World Series. It really was. Yes.
So the bet was that you would both receive the day off.
Yes.
Well, you would, and then Max was like, "Oh, what's the day off too?" So we're like, "Oh, we feel bad for Max. Okay, let's give Max a day off too." But but here's the thing, and I'm willing to do this. So here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
You two are going to be my guests at the Smack Shack in Bloomington.
Okay.
So you're going to go and roll over there for lunch, and occasionally we'll check in with you. You won't have to work.
Yeah.
But we'll just check in with you through the day. And I'll be a good steward of the show, but the show has to be my topics.
Yeah, all your topics.
Like Max's hair,
My hair.
the Max Fuller Foundation.
Foundation. Yeah,
That's the whole 4 o'clock hour.
So that would be my pitch
Yeah.
for my payback to the both of you. You can sit there and eat some lobster, and I'll work.
Max's favorite.
It's not that expensive, I've heard.
No, it's nothing.
This sounds amazing. The only thing I'm scared of is that we're gonna get Wally pipped here, and that nobody will ever invite us. They're gonna want you and not
Tom Brady situation.
Exactly, Drew Bledsoe here.
Yeah, that's a real possibility.
Yes.
No, okay. So two things. First of all, I got a job, and secondly, if I don't want to work any harder than I already do. I mean, let's just put that out there. Let's see. Today on Fox 9, I will do 19 weather segments between 5 and 10:30. So I'm good. Yeah. I'm good. What you all got here with your little show is all fine with me. Okay, you guys just keep doing your little show.
I think Paul and Grace are down for this too.
I think
I'm
they
speaking
are.
on behalf of them.
Yeah, for
to have
sure.
Ian for a whole day, I mean, it would just be their lives are going to be so easy.
Where is Paul in there?
He is.
Paul
He
just
is.
gave us a little signal there.
Yeah, do I get a say in whether what happens with this? Whether they get the full day off? Can it be a planning day for them, and then you'll just be in the chair?
Paul's asking, does he get a say? Do we have to have a planning day, and
No,
you just get to be in the
then
chair?
It's a bet.
Yeah, so,
No, it's
Well,
not
I
part
mean,
of that.
I would work for Paul for the day.
yeah, right.
So whatever he says goes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
He's
that's
talking
easy.
about us.
Yes,
So
yeah,
we
he's talking
don't
about
work
us.
for Paul
Yes.
for the day.
Yes.
So no planning whatsoever.
Just
That's
plan.
Not part of the bet.
Here's what you do: you wear your Sansa belt pants,
Yeah.
so that they go out and they're action slacks. They roll with you through the day, and that way you can just pound the food.
Perfect.
I'm with it.
Perfect. I've never been to Smack Shack either, so this sounds awesome.
pretty
Yes.
damn good.
Yeah. this
It's
is-
awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite casual restaurants.
Perfect. Perfect.
It's seafood casual.
Yes. Perfect.
I don't even know what that
Ian,
means.
We can't. We'd be remiss if you had you in here, and we have winter coming up.
Uh-huh.
We gotta ask you about the weather. What's the deal with
Well, let's talk about it. So, everyone's talking about La Nina and how, wow, it could mean so much more snow, to which I would say to the average person, do you know the difference between so much more snow? Because as we get to February, most people are in the, I hate winter, I hate this snow. And I say, well, we've had 36 inches. And, people don't go, oh, really? It felt more like 38. Right? So and the same thing happens when you talk to people about, maybe slightly colder than usual, statistically, by about 1.5 degrees. So it's the same thing. People are outside wearing their parkas and they're shivering. And I say, oh, yeah, it's much colder today. And people say, it feels about 1 degree colder. Yeah, I think so. Statistically, we are meteorologists. We are inherently nerds. We love statistics. And we love grinding those numbers. And when you look ahead at winter, and anybody who tells you right now, this is the exact way winter is going to be, whatever you're listening, if it's a podcast or on the radio or on TV, turn it off immediately. Because those people don't know that. Nobody can know that. Yeah. All it takes is one big snowstorm. All it takes is one big cold snap for winter to come back in a ferocious way. Let's talk about winter's arrival. Yeah. Last weekend we were 60s and 70s. People are walking around in shirts and T-shirts going, this is great. I could handle this. Now, as we head into this weekend, high temperatures get back in the low to mid 50s. And I think people are being lulled into a false sense of security. Right? This is like, oh, I know this stuff inside and out. And they're like, you failed the test. You're like, oh, I thought I knew it inside and out. As we get into next week, getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving, the temperatures begin to tank. We get into this wicked northwest flow. Anytime we can start moving air down out of northern Canada, that's a problem. I think next Tuesday, chance of rain showers. Next Wednesday and Thursday, high temperatures drop down into about the mid-30s.
Oh boy.
As we look into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, high temperatures look maybe mid-20s.
Oh yikes.
Right? And there'll be a disconnect because there won't be a lot of snow on the ground. Yeah. When there's snow, automatically when you step out of your house, when there's snow, you're like, I'm prepared. I better put on a second coat. Right. Look at all the snow. When there's no snow and you think, oh, my lawn still looks pretty good. I put some nice lines on the front lawn. Yeah. Sun's out, guns out. That's what we say.
Of course.
That's what we say at my house.
Buns out, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We say at my house.
That's
You,
your house?
you say what?
Sun's out, buns out.
Does that mean
Like you're grilling. You're grilling. Get your minds out of the
What you do
gutter.
during the Iron Man and
I was thinking maybe, I was thinking maybe it's Pants Free Friday or something. I don't know.
You can never see our lower halves, so they would never know.
Max is like me, and you too. We all have what we call lucky legs. Lucky that when you're walking, they just don't snap.
Right.
Because there's not a lot there. I mean, in the spring when I'm wearing shorts, people are like, "What is that?" Do you ever hear Steve Martin when he did that thing on SNL? And when he walked toward the camera and he'd go, "What is that?" And then he'd walk out of frame and come back and go, "What is that?" And it went on for like 5 minutes. "Oh, I know what that is. No, wait. What is that?" And it just kept. That's what people do when I'm wearing shorts in the spring. What is that? It's an awful, awful sight. Okay, so the bet. Let's come up with a day. I'll get with the big boss man, and we'll figure out how I can make you eat some fine food, and I can do your job for you.
It's amazing.
I don't want this job. I want nothing to do with this job. I will put that in writing.
Sure. Yeah.
I will put that in writing, and I will move on from there. But it'll be a treat, and we'll have some fun, and we can talk. I mean, I could geek out. It could be all weather.
That would be amazing.
The afternoon shift, all weather, all day.
That would be amazing. I would watch that.
There'd be like
2 hours.
3 weather nerds watching, going, "This is great."
Well, you're the biggest weatherman in the Twin Cities. It's gonna be the highest rated episode ever. Yeah.
Fat joke. Was that a fat joke?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Now, listen, you already retired from the Iron Man.
I know. Now I'm just gonna plump up.
We appreciate you having you here. You're no cockroach. You're the friend of the afternoon shifts.
That's great.
A portrait on the wall.
Yeah, we should have like a Hall of Fame of our guests.
All I need is just a coat hanger.
Yeah.
Where I come in, I can hang my coat, and it says, Ian Leonard only.
Yes.
There we go. I like that.
Ian, we appreciate you.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for all. You know what? You guys are so great. I see you in the hallway. We have fun. You're always so supportive of this ridiculous thing I do. We'll get to the polar plunge soon, and both of you all are plunging on my team, and there's no getting out.
I love that. I've always wanted to do it.
And next year, of course, Special Olympics USA Games are here. Yes. There's a lot we're going to talk about for all the right reasons in the coming months. But you guys are always so supportive. Thank you. I appreciate you all so much.
We're talking Vikings, actually. You have any Vikings hot takes, by the way?
You got to stick with JJ. But it's getting harder and harder, man. It's like the girlfriend I want to break up with in college, but I haven't found anyone else yet, so I'm going to stick with it. Right? Is that...
I've had friends that have gone through similar situations.
That's a hard. I love my Vikings, but man,
it's tough.
Oh, it's tough.
It's been tough to watch.
Oh my gosh,
it's a hairy situation.
And you forget because they haven't been like bad in a while. So you forget how long these seasons are. Like last year's like, oh, this season just flew by.
We're 13-4. This is the best.
And now I'm like, got 7 weeks.
7 games left, and it's kind of like being in the 5th round and you've been knocked down a few times. You're like, how you turn to the ref? How long is this fight?
You're right. You're holding on to the guy looking at the clock. Like,
how much time's left in this round?
We could all turn around with a win over the Packers, though. You never know.
Listen to Captain Sunshine here.
I'm the biggest Vikings fan on the show. Maybe in this building, everybody's all negative.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
On
a clear day.
It's like, dude, if they make the,
you haven't been here long enough.
When they make the, if they make the play,
14-1 odds to make the playoffs. Yeah, so they're up against it, but it can happen. Yeah,
I'll bet Max's money on that one.
To the Max Foundation.
Dude's got nothing but money.
Thanks, Ian. We appreciate it.
Hey guys, thanks.
Vikings talk coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Now you got some.
time to get our finances ironed out here.
Well, what are you, my bank?
No,
what do you mean? It's time to get my. Who sent you?
I'm
Hold on a minute.
I'm no teller. I'm no setup.
What do you mean by that?
No, the only person I sent is Nicole Middendorf.
Oh, hey.
And neither of us are from the IRS.
Okay.
No, we come in peace. We come in peace. Nicole, you are the CEO of Prosper Well Financial. We appreciate you're a resident afternoon shift financial expert.
Yes, I guess so. I love it. Yes.
We're pumped to have you back. One of the things we wanted to talk to you about are property tax increases. What should we know about this stuff?
I just got mine in the mail. I literally just opened it up last night, and it's, oh man. I mean, when you get it, one, you need to be aware of this because two, if you have a mortgage, property taxes are due in May and October. But many a time when you get a mortgage, they ask you, do you want to escrow for taxes? And most of the time people are like, I have no idea what they're talking about anyway, so sure, fine. Yeah. What that means is every month you're putting money away, giving money to your bank, and then they're going to pay the taxes for you. But if you don't do that, you need to be fiscally responsible yourself to pay the taxes in May and October. So these statements that are now coming in the mail are telling you, hello, rates are going up, you're going to be paying more next year, so be aware of that. So what does that mean? If you're having your money, if you're giving your money to the bank every month and they're going to pay the taxes for you, your mortgage is going to go up. So your monthly payment is going to go up. Or if you're doing it yourself, you need to make sure that you have enough money for those taxes that come due first in May and then in October.
So how is the raises, or I mean, I'm assuming they don't decrease very often, but how is that determined?
Well, one of mine was 5%, which was like, okay, that's fine, I can handle that. The other one was 70.
70?
And so when it was a new house, so like new home bill, things like that always adjusts. But when you get those, you can go in and say, you know what, I think you're a little off. But how these are determined is what happens when you vote. You're voting for your school district. You're voting for the area that you live in. So one, there's the state, then there's the county, then there's the city. And so, I mean, that's where I was looking at mine. I'm like, oh my God, 70%. I'm like, wow, okay. Like the biggest chunk is going to the school district in the area that I live in. So it all depends where you live. And so that's where it's a super important to look at what are the current taxes, what could potential taxes be, not just like what's the value of the house that you're buying or where you're going to be living.
I think I'm staying in an apartment.
Yeah.
It's too complicated, isn't it?
Yeah, very complex. And I like having people, my lawn mowed and everything like that.
Yes.
One other thing we wanted to talk to you about, and unfortunately, there's been, Target had a bunch of layoffs recently. There's been several other Minnesota companies that have been experiencing this. If you are laid off, how would you recommend somebody manage their finances if they're in that position?
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, we're getting about a phone call a day from current clients or new clients to be that are getting laid off. And so one, most of these layoffs have been completely unexpected. And so I'm not telling you should always be prepared for a layoff, but any wealth advisor at any point in your life, we're going to tell you to have 3 to 6 months minimum of expenses set aside in that money market account, not in cash, not in your 401k plan, not underneath your mattress, but in a money market account so that if you get laid off, you can meet those expenses that you have going on until you replace that job. So one, it's looking at, okay, what can I cut? Because a lot of these have been completely unexpected layoffs. So what can I cut? And what's really hard is it's the holiday season. And that's really tough as we get to year end. But what expenses can I cut? If you have Hulu and Netflix and Apple TV and Peacock, look at all of those and okay, no more dining out and really bare bones what you have going out. Then see, it is the holidays. So could you get a seasonal job? Could you get something temporarily that will help you have more money coming in? And then it's also when you're evaluating the jobs, always looking at the net what's happening. Because we have had clients that go and take a bigger salary at a different job and they're super excited, but then that company doesn't offer a 401k plan. Or they don't pay for your health insurance. So you've always got to look at net. Always compare apples to apples. What makes the most sense for you?
You said a money market account?
Yes, money market account.
I know what that is, but just for people out there that don't.
Yes. So what is it?
Yeah.
So there's a checking account, which that you have money, you give it to, if you're the bank,
Yeah.
I'm giving money to you, you're turning around and giving it to him as a loan, and that's how you as a bank make money.
Yeah.
Savings accounts, same thing, the bank, but you're giving me a little bit interest because you're taking that money generally for a longer period of time. Money market accounts, that money's invested in CDs and short-term bonds from the government. So you're generally going to earn more money in a money market account. You also do want to look for the word insured because you want something that's federally insured so that you don't lose all of the money if something were to happen.
You said CDs. These aren't the CDs that you're selling.
Yeah, I was
ahead of
gonna.
them, right?
No, those aren't those CDs. Those
Yes.
aren't those. Not the bootleg CDs. Not the bootleg DVDs. No, those are
Certificates
different.
of deposit.
Oh,
Yes.
Invest in
Banks.
those too. Invest in those too.
Not right now. Structured CDs. Structured CDs. See, you're going to be totally confused, right? You're like, I'm just going to stay in my apartment.
Yes, CDs and everything. No, that's good. That's good intel. And listen, we were talking about this. We both experienced layoffs before in our careers.
It's a scary time.
It is a scary time, and you have to be smart with everything. One thing, if you are laid off, even if you're not laid off, grocery shopping, especially this time of year around the holidays, how can we better save money at the supermarket?
Go and buy things that are on sale and then meal plan around that. Rather than like, oh, I'm going to make lasagna and we're going to have chicken then and then we're going to do tacos. Go to the grocery store or go online and see what's on sale and then work around that. And then always look at, okay, where can I get the best deal? Not necessarily the most convenience. And if you're delivering things, like this is where I feel I give my kids who are teenagers the hardest time because they don't comprehend or have any care in the world of delivery fees or delivery costs, like Uber Eats, DoorDash, having like, oh, just have groceries sent to the house. And it's like, if you're spending $20 to have your stuff delivered to you, no, like be thoughtful, be planning, thinking about, and being very proactive. And then also it's just one, economically it makes the most sense, but also from an environment standpoint, it's like don't waste. The amount of waste that we have is astronomical. And so be very thoughtful and see if you can share together. Like if if you're in an apartment, like have a cookout together or, I'm going to buy the big thing of blueberries at Costco versus going to the grocery store and spending $11 for a tiny thing. Maybe you split it then with your neighbor or your friend. So it's all about getting really creative and making money fun. It doesn't have to be boring and overwhelming. You can actually make it interesting and fun.
Yeah.
If you ever want to have a cookout, bro,
Okay.
you can bring me a plate. Bro.
Yeah.
You can bring me a plate.
We should
let's
arrange
have a
that.
cookout.
It's
Yeah.
a little the time of year we kind of missed our
Yeah,
window.
we kind
but
of did.
can
It'll
get
get
there,
cold.
Yeah.
Bringing it from our apartment to apartment.
Yeah,
but
we could do that.
we could do that.
All right.
Speaking of apartment, Adam said he's good with his apartment. I'm good with my apartment. But if we do decide to want to move into a house, all these headlines lately are talking about these 50-year loans.
Yes.
And I'm seeing a lot of people advocating for it, and then I'm seeing a bunch of people saying, no, this is not a good thing. What's the deal with these 50-year loans?
So generally when you get a mortgage, most of the time you're getting a mortgage right now for 30 years. But what is this new talk is, gosh, well, people are living longer and it's so hard for someone to get into a house because house prices have gone up so much. So let's extend the period of time that you can pay for that house. Well, what is it doing? It's just costing you more money over the long term. Because if you're buying a house for $300,000 or $500,000 and you're paying that for it for 50 years, it's going to cost you a lot more than $500,000 versus same thing if you pay the loan for 30 years. So I struggle with it a little bit because one, we're living longer and it does help someone get into a house, but also at the same standpoint, you as an individual need to be aware of how much more money it's going to cost you. So the goal has generally always been for most people, I want to live in a house that's paid for. I want to live in a house that's paid for. That does make sense unless it's in an interest rate environment at 2.5%. So me personally, and I'm never supposed to say like what I would do, but if we get 50-year mortgages and the interest rate goes down to 2.9%, what are we doing? That is something to take advantage of. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see that, but that would be amazing to be able to have cheap money because then you could use that money for other things. Right. So there's pros and cons with anything when it comes with dollars. The biggest thing is just like if you buy a car, like the new trend now is having 7-year car loans. oh my gosh, what does that car look like in 7 years?
Right.
And how much is that car costing you versus if you do a 3-year or a 5-year loan? So
I'm curious, like, how do bubbles in these markets form? Because like I feel like a lot of people are like crossing their fingers hoping that there's like a bubble forming for the housing market and that prices will drop. Like, how does that work? Because I would imagine that prices going way up like they are is at least a key part of the equation, right?
Right. Well, and it's interesting because I was just with JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and all of these amazing powerhouse women in Florida, and we were talking about the AI bubble.
I've heard about that too. I'll cross my fingers for that too.
And so I loved it because this one woman's like, she's like, you don't know that you're in a bubble till you're out of the bubble.
Yep.
And the problem is like, did all of them think we're in an AI bubble? No. Yeah. Just because the amount of investment and really the majority of this whole meeting was how can we use AI in financial services, which is crazy because we're such a boring, regulated, stodgy industry in general. Yeah. I mean, not me. Of course. How can we use AI to better serve clients and how can we make it to be more efficient and effective? So how things happen, where we get in trouble is when you get the pendulum going too much. Like interest rates, in my opinion, they waited too long to start dropping them. Yeah. And that's where we get these scares in the economy. That's where we get these huge layoffs. But a lot of these layoffs are coming from efficiencies and AI and things like that. So you always need to recreate yourself and look at, where am I going? And what does this make sense for me personally as an individual, me working, and me with my own financial situation?
Yeah. And it always helps, I think, to have a human helping you with your finances.
Absolutely. AI cannot replicate what Nicole does for us.
No, absolutely. You are our resident financial expert.
Happy
Nicole
to be that.
the CEO of Prosper Wealth Financial. We appreciate your time, Nicole. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks. Awesome. More to come from the afternoon shift right after this. Welcome back. This Sunday, the Vikings are heading to Lambeau Field. The game is right here on Fox 9 at noon. They are 6.5-point underdogs. Maybe they're catching the Packers at a good time. The Packers have lost their last 2 games at Lambeau.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're not exactly the big threats that they maybe seemed to be at the beginning of the season, but the Vikings have also lost 2 straight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Packers, I should say, have been putting that L in Lambeau. They haven't won there since October 12th.
Yes.
Doesn't seem that long ago in real life terms, but realizing they're playing every single week, and granted, not all those games are home games, right? But still, to not win at the historic Lambeau Field in over a month, you know that they're going to be super hungry for a W there, and the Vikings are looking to possibly save their season. I know we've been kind of saying the season's on the line every week, but this is really the last stop for them. If they lose this week, it's kind of, then you're officially looking in the other direction. If you win this week, there's still a sliver of hope, possibly if you go on a crazy run here at the end of the season, but the season is absolutely on the line in Green Bay this weekend against the Packers. Who else would it be against? Who else would you rather have it be against?
No doubt. The Vikings right now, let's just go through some of these odds right now. Playoffs, 14-1. For those at home that maybe don't know, $1 bet would win you $14.
That's not that bad.
All right, division. Okay. 90-1.
Oh, that's worse.
90-1. NFC champions, 180-1.
Okay.
Super Bowl, 400-1.
400.
$1 wins you $400 if they win the Super Bowl.
I might have to drive over to Iowa real quick and put a couple bones down on my Vikings, man. I mean, those are some serious odds.
14-1 just to all they have to do is just make the play. They don't have to win a playoff game. They just got to make the playoffs. The win total over/under that they have set right now is the live one is 6.5. They're 4-6 right now. It seems like the playoffs are going to be a long shot.
Yeah.
Can they get to 7 wins and hit the win total over/under, do you think? I mean, it has to start this week.
It does have to, and you have to get at least one of these games against these divisional opponents coming up, right? Because you got 2 still against the Packers, and then you got another one against the Lions as well, somewhere in the mix. Dallas and Washington are somewhere
Giants.
in the mix. The Giants in there as well. This is obviously going to be one of the tough ones. Green Bay has been pretty consistent throughout the season, one of the upper echelon teams in the NFL. They have been shaky as of late, at least offensively. Defensively, they're pretty much top 10 in every freaking conceivable category. Top 10 in rush yards allowed, top 10 in pass yards allowed. I mean, Micah Parsons, they acquired him, and then he's living up to everything on the tin. Get this, he's got 8 sacks in 10 games, second in the NFL with 56 pressures. Trailing only one, Aiden Hutchinson. So good luck to all the NFC North quarterbacks out there. It is a hellscape.
Yes, it is.
We have so many of the best defensive line players, including the Minnesota Vikings having Andrew Van Ginkel and Jonathan Grenard as well. It is just a gauntlet when it comes to defensive lines here in the NFC North, and the Packers have some of the best of the best. And, I mean, literally, it's not just that front 7. It's the secondary. It's the safeties. It's the corners. They've been incredible throughout this entire season. But offensively, they've been a little bit lackluster here, so to speak. Throughout the season, if you average it all together, it's not all that bad, but over the last couple of games, it has been a struggle for them to get up and down the field.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the biggest struggles that they've been having is at the quarterback position, and I feel like we have to talk about it here. J.J. McCarthy this week said that he feels like a, quote, cork about to come off a bottle.
Oh.
That's his quote.
Okay.
Listen, so you have everything from J.J. being super optimistic to The Athletic, a respected sports writing organization, their NFL insider, Diana Rossini, she asked earlier this week if J.J. McCarthy is even going to be a Minnesota Viking at all next season.
Whoa.
Much less the starting quarterback. So there's a wide range of opinions here, a lot of critics. Obviously, J.J.'s got faith in himself. Where do you fall into this pyramid here?
I mean, from what I've been seeing stuff like that, of course, over the last couple of weeks, but I've also been seeing other highly respected NFL analysts like Dan Orlovsky, former Lions quarterback. He posted yesterday a video of him kind of breaking down. He says he watched the game tape, and listen, Dan Orlovsky knows more about he's forgotten more about football than either of us will ever know.
Yes.
He said he's watched the tape on J.J. McCarthy, and he actually feels more hopeful than he did before he had watched the tape, because he said the things that J.J. McCarthy needs to change are mechanical and they are easily fixable. I guess maybe he didn't say easily, but they are you can get it coached out of you. You know, we've seen guys come into this league, and again, these are more anomalies. These are what you have to cross your fingers for and hope that J.J. puts in the work to kind of fix his mechanics. But we see Josh Allen wasn't all that impressive coming out of the gate. Drake May, not all that impressive coming out of the gate. Not everybody's Patrick Mahomes and just takes you right to the AFC Championship game and a bunch of Super Bowls. A lot of these guys have to to develop. It takes time. So you would hope that if it's just the mechanics, that JJ can put in that work and fix those. But it's also kind of one of those things where you're a little bit concerned, where it's like, hey, it's your second year. I know you are functionally a rookie, but it's your second year. Shouldn't you have maybe already fixed all that kind of stuff? And I can get where people fall on either edge of the coin. But I pretty much am forced into optimism right now. We have no choice. JJ McCarthy is our quarterback for at least the 2025 season. We have to keep rolling with them and see what we got. So I have a little bit of hope, because other people that know more about football than me are saying these are things that can be fixed. And then maybe, just maybe, because we talked about it before, JJ McCarthy has all the intangibles. He's got everything that you want in a guy in terms of like personality, leadership qualities, coachability, and whatnot. The problem is he just so far doesn't have the tangibles. He's got the intangibles, which you can't coach, but he doesn't have the tangibles, you know? So hopefully with between Kevin O'Connell's, you know, quarterback whispering, his ability to unlock the best out of quarterbacks, hopefully he can get the most out of J.J. McCarthy. But, man, it's going to be really, really, really tough against this Packers defense. That's one of the best in the league. But hopefully they can just at least score enough points to keep up with this Packers offense, which has not been great as of late and has a lot of different injuries. Josh Jacobs is on the injured list. They have 4 different wide receivers on the injury report this year that were all limited, this game, I should say, all limited in practice leading up to this week. And, of course, they've had tight end Tucker Kraft has been out. Jaden Reed has been out. Their center has been out. I mean, they've been dealing with a bevy of different injuries. This Packers team is not playing at full force, and the Vikings got to take advantage of that.
No doubt. Listen, again, based on this line, I think that Minnesota's probably going to keep it close, to be honest with you. The Packers are in a little bit of a strange spot. They got a short week coming up next week. They're at Detroit. That game is on Fox Thanksgiving Day at noon, or maybe even 11 a.m. Central Time on Thanksgiving Day, the Packers. So could it be maybe a little bit of a look-ahead spot for them?
It might be.
I'm not sure. It seems this is a good spot, I think, for Minnesota to really kind of see what they're made of. And obviously, this is with the arch rival of the team, you'd say, right? I mean, this is the border battle.
Yeah, 100%. We were just talking about it off there. There was actually a recent study that was done, and it would shock nobody, but it was a study of who's the most hated team in each state. I believe the Philadelphia Eagles led the entire nation, but the Packers not too far behind, and of course, they were the most hated team here in Minnesota. I would say, not only are they the Vikings' chief rival, I would say they are the chief rival of all Minnesota sports teams. There's no team that Minnesota Vikings fans and Minnesota sports fans despise more than the Green Bay Packers. And I've told you before, I'm sure other people have told you before, in seasons like this where it appears that maybe it's a wash, we don't know yet, beating the Packers is that's the consolation prize. If you can't get to the playoffs, you can't win the Super Bowl, at least you can beat the Packers. And Packers fans will say, well, hang the banner, blah, blah, blah. Well, you guys haven't hung any banners lately either, okay? If you to count most of your Super Bowl wins, you got to go back to when people talk like this. See? People that the Super Bowl trophy is named after now, see? So I don't want to hear that ring talk. It's been a long time, brother. But hopefully the Vikings can get back on track against the Packers this weekend, because it's gonna be heated. There's a lot of vitriol in the air when it comes to Vikings-Packers rivalry. But man, it's must-see TV.
Yeah, and I think they play the Packers the final week of the season. I'm not sure.
I believe that is
so
true.
That could be an opportunity for Minnesota at home. Maybe you keep Green Bay out of winning the division, or
a big deal.
Maybe even for Minnesota, they go on this little late season turnaround run here. That could be a win-and-in sort of game for them at home against the Packers.
The drama, the theater of it all, to have it be against the Packers in the last game of the season, that would be absolutely incredible. But it has to start this Sunday. And I do want to say, as good as the Packers' defense has been, they're not a ball-hawking defense. They're only +1 in the turnover differential. Minnesota, I think, is -9, by the way. But the Packers, they've only generated 8 turnovers so far this season. So that works in JJ's favor, because obviously he's been pretty turnover-prone so far. So he has some opportunities. KOC needs to rely on the run a little bit more. We saw him lean on the run a little bit more last week. Aaron Jones, obviously, he's very familiar with the Packers. It'll be a homecoming for him. Speaking of former Packers, it'll be Aaron Rodgers return to Chicago this weekend, I believe. The team that he says he's the owner of. So all types of storylines and returns in the NFC North. And obviously, it's not going to be like that for Aaron Jones. He's beloved all around the NFL. Even guys that are hated, like Aaron Rodgers, love Aaron Jones.
Yes.
He's one of the most beloved players in the NFL. NFL, so I'm sure it'll be a warm welcome from him, even from the Wisconsin fans down there. But I would hope to see lots of him in action and lots of Jordan Mason in action to lighten up the load for JJ a little bit.
Yeah, that Steelers-Bears game is going to be really must-see TV.
It's going to be juicy.
Don't watch that game because that's the competing game
right.
with the Vikings-Packers, of course. But if you are a fan of football, Sunday at noon here in Central Time is going to be a great kind of two-way going between Chicago and what's happening at Green Bay. Yeah, I'm always curious. You think the Packers fans consider the Vikings fans their chief rival?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so because, I mean, I know there's some talk about the Bears and whatnot. Maybe they have more stronger feelings towards the Bears, but I feel like over the last 2 decades or so, the Vikings have those are the ones that are more meaningful games. The Vikings and the Packers are the 2 teams that have made the playoffs most consistently out of the 4 teams in the NFC North. So I'll say those are the ones that have the most weight on it. Maybe there's some past emotion, generational emotion that's stronger for Packers fans and Bears fans. I know that Bears fans, I think they feel really strongly about the Packers compared to, and then the Lions. I feel like everybody's kind of just like, they were so irrelevant for so long.
Yes,
that obviously you don't want to be patronizing. They're doing better than the Vikings are, so you certainly can't be patronizing. But it is kind of like, hey, what you guys go ahead, man. Yeah. You guys had a long time that you were miserable. You guys go ahead. I don't think it's that a lot of Vikings fans still don't want to see them succeed.
Right.
But you're not angry at it. You know, you're not raging out about it. Where the Packers, if they go to the Super Bowl, everybody's TVs are going to be thrown out of windows all across Minnesota. Nobody wants to see that. But the Lions fans is kind of just like, but I would say that Packers fans probably consider us that. But I mean, that map says otherwise. I think that map said the Bears. But I would say that the more meaningful games over the last 2 decades or so have been between the Vikings and the Packers.
You were born in Wisconsin, of course.
I was. I'm a border trader. I came over.
Yes.
I was smuggled over the Minnesota and Wisconsin border.
Yeah.
And I've been Minnesotan ever since, and I root for the Vikings. Sorry, Packers.
There's got to be a lot of split families in both Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Tons.
That you have spouses that are rooting, Packers and Vikings fans, and brothers and sisters that aren't aligned.
Oh yeah, there's tons, and there's tons of Packers bars around here. We even got a Packers radio show, Packers Preview, on KFAN. So it's like there's a big Packers contingent here. We tolerate them. I wouldn't say we like them. We tolerate them, but we're wishing them the worst this weekend.
You're going to send them the worst this weekend. You can watch the game right here on Fox 9. Pregame coverage starts at 9:30, and the game starts at noon right here on Fox 9. It should be a lot of fun. And hey, 14-1, it might be the trip down to Iowa because they don't want it in Minnesota. They don't want that smoke in Minnesota.
Yeah,
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. They should. Anyways, we are going to have more to come from the afternoon shift after this. Don't go anywhere. welcome back to the afternoon shift. Waymo, it's coming to Minneapolis, Max.
The autonomous cars, driverless cars that you've seen roaming around the streets of LA. It looks a little spooky.
Yes.
The first time you see it, you have to do a double take. You have to do one. You're like, what that car didn't have a driver, but they're designed to be that way. Only in 5 cities around the U.S., but Minneapolis might be one of the next ones.
Absolutely. We had the chance to speak to an engineer from Waymo earlier in today's show. We're going to replay that clip. Let's take a look at it. Well done. We're really excited about having Waymos here in the Twin Cities. And joining us now is Waymo's technical program manager, Mr. Jake Treader. Jake, welcome to the afternoon shift. How are you?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good to be here.
This is huge news, Jake. There's a lot of people here in the Twin Cities and across the state of Minnesota that don't know what Waymo is. Can you introduce your company to this Minnesota audience?
Absolutely. So Waymo's an autonomous technology driving company. So we specialize in autonomous ride-hailing right now. So we're in 5 major cities in the U.S., and we've done over 100 million miles, and we're doing well over 250,000 trips per week in those 5 major cities. And in those cities, you can hail the Waymo similar like you would Uber or Lyft, except there's no one in the driver's seat. So it's a totally different experience for people, but we pride ourselves on a very safe track record. So.
Jake, you mentioned it. You're in 5 different cities, and I'm sure you guys are looking to expand all over the world. But what made Minneapolis as one of the first places you wanted to expand to outside of those 5 cities?
Yeah, so we're at a really exciting time for Waymo. We're at the precipice of a lot of scaling. So we're going to a number of different cities. And with our 6th generation driver, which is our new Waymo driver, we have, basically unlocked the capability to tackle markets like Minneapolis with snow and ice. So we're really excited about that future expansion. And Minneapolis is, a very lively, urban center that we want to be able to serve.
Jake, you mentioned the Waymo experience. Take us into that experience. What should a rider expect when they get into a Waymo vehicle?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's an app on your phone, and you can hail the car similar like you would a Uber or Lyft. It's really nice because all the cars look the same, but you will have your initials on the top of the vehicle, so you kind of know which one is yours. You can unlock it with the phone, or walk up to it and it unlocks automatically. You can ride in the front passenger seat or the rear seat. We don't let riders ride in the driver's seat for obvious reasons. But yeah, then you just hit the start ride button once you're buckled, and it will safely take you to where you want to go. You're able to control the music, the temperature, everything in the vehicle. So riders really like that kind of personal, private experience that you can get in a Waymo.
Sounds like something straight out of the Jetsons. Like, we're really living in the future, brother.
Yes.
This is super exciting stuff here.
Yes.
Jake, I'm curious, like, how did you guys design these Waymo cars to be autonomous the way they are?
Absolutely. So we start with a really comprehensive sensor suite. So we have LiDAR, which are essentially kind of like lasers that come out from the vehicle. So we can see 360 degrees with this LiDAR technology. And then we have radar, which also helps us see in different weather conditions. And then we've got cameras, and the cameras have kind of tiny wipers and heaters on them, and even cleaning fluid to wipe off all the road grime and salt that might accumulate on sensors in Minneapolis in the winter. So we bring all these sensors together to be able to see the world around us and operate in a very safe manner. So we're basically have a lot of safety studies completed, 11 times safer than a human. I've personally taken a ride in the San Francisco Bay Area on freeways. So we're just now rolling out freeways to our public riders. And so it's really cool to see this expansion to airports and freeways and things like that, really building a comprehensive service for all our riders that they can depend on.
11 times safer than a normal human car. I think that's like a huge takeaway from this. That really is amazing. You mentioned getting on the freeways up in the Bay Area. I know that Waymo said they're coming to Minneapolis. Does that mean that the cars have to stay within the Minneapolis city limits? Would they be able to go over to St. Paul? Could they go on further rides in theory?
Yeah, right now we're focused just on Minneapolis. So we're in a testing stage. So right now what we'll do is we'll drive around Minneapolis. We'll put out a high definition map of the area that we want to drive in. We'll make sure that this, safety and performance of the technology is robust based on human operators driving the vehicles. So we start in a very small area of the city. with a very small number of vehicles, and then we slowly expand over time to serve as many riders as we can. So I've got no announcements right now on like further expansions, and so we're entering this testing phase before winter to really get the most of the winter season in Minneapolis. But we're really excited to continue testing and in the future be able to offer a service to public riders in Minneapolis.
Jake, now one of those things is I'm sure you guys are going to have to hurdle over on the way to bringing it to the public here in Minneapolis. I'm sure that once you guys expand to these different cities, there's all types of different laws in different states and whatnot. Can you kind of walk us through that process of like what these laws are like and how they're changing and how Waymo is changing them?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm an engineer. I don't work in the policy side of things, but, Waymo develops a really strong partnership with the communities and also legislative and policy branches of the cities and states that we hope to serve in the future. And so all I can say really is that we really try to partner and not, force anything on anyone. So I think the safety of the service is kind of demonstrated itself over time now that we have over 100 million miles of fully driverless operations. And so, once people experience that and see the safety impacts, we have this great partnership with legislators that, can allow, advancements in, legislation to allow services like this to improve road safety in the communities that we serve.
Jake, do you think it'd be a fair statement to say that if every car in the world was a Waymo, that there would be virtually zero accidents, maybe zero altogether?
Yeah, are you going to be able to buy these things someday? Because I don't got a license, Jake. Listen, I'm your P1. I live in Minneapolis. I ain't got no license. I'm going to be riding these Waymos like every day. Are we going to be able to buy these someday?
I love it. I love it. I love the excitement. I appreciate it from you guys. So right now, our business model is to operate kind of a ride-hailing service similar to Uber and Lyft. We don't personally sell these vehicles. What we're really building is the Waymo driver that we can apply to many different vehicles, different applications. And so we're exploring kind of any and all opportunities in the future. So the vehicles that we'll be bringing to Minneapolis reside on a Jaguar platform and then a Zeekr platform, which, we incorporate the Waymo driver onto. We've also announced that we have a partnership with Hyundai. So the Ioniq 5, which you've seen, as a consumer vehicle, we're also deploying the Waymo driver on that vehicle. So we're really making kind of a generalizable driver that can go on multiple vehicle platforms and, bring this road safety to as many areas as possible.
And Jake, would you say the price of these Waymos is very comparable to Uber or Lyft as well?
Right. Yeah. The ride-hailing price that you'll see on the app, it will fluctuate based on the demand that the cars are seeing and things like that. But yeah, it's very comparable to existing ride-hailing services. But with that kind of maybe added benefit of having your own space, and a lot of riders enjoy that distinction that Waymo can provide for them.
I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Speaking of that, while we're on the subject of Uber and Lyft and these other ride-sharing services, I would imagine that there's probably some consternation from drivers from those ride-sharing services as well once Waymo comes into town, right?
Yeah, I mean, like any new technology, there's going to be, kind of some adjustment and getting used to things. But, we're not displacing human ride-hailing in any way. We think those services can coexist, so people that want to take a Waymo can take a Waymo. People that want an Uber or Lyft that may be driven by a human, they can take that as well. So I think, providing options to people is really what we're after. And I think once people experience our service, they, really tend to like it and value it.
Yeah, and you talk about that customer experience. I would say it's been overwhelmingly positive that you've seen in the markets that you're in currently.
Right. So we're in 5 major markets right now: San Francisco, LA, Phoenix, Austin, and Atlanta. And then we just announced recently that we're doubling the markets that we're driving autonomously in. So we're going to deploy to more markets in Florida, in Texas, and basically double our cities from 5 to 10 over the coming months. So we're really excited about that, doubling of the cities that we're going to serve. And that's on the back of all the cities that we're announcing for testing, such as Minneapolis. So, no commercial service in Minneapolis right now, but, we're testing and laying the foundation for a commercial service in the future.
super exciting stuff.
So much
It
cool
really
stuff.
does. Sometimes you hear 2025 and it's like, that sounds so futuristic, but there's no futuristic things. Well, Waymo is here to make it more futuristic.
Absolutely. And it's all thanks to people like Jake, one of the best engineers at Waymo. You are Waymo's technical program manager, Jake Treader. We appreciate your time, Jake. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
That was great with Jake Treader from
Yeah.
Waymo, and awesome. Yeah. So I'm really pumped that they're coming here to the Twin Cities.
Yeah, seriously. I'm excited. First, like I said, I was a little creeped out, but I'm excited to ride in one of these things. Again, it just feels like the future. Driverless cars.
Driverless cars.
See? Pretty soon, people won't even need their license.
Yes.
All those people giving me crap for years. Pretty soon, you're going to be on the wrong side of history, thanks to Waymo.
Thank you to Waymo for coming to Minneapolis. We'll keep you updated with that story.
There's not Waymo of the afternoon shift. Just a few minutes left.
Just a few minutes left. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back and wrap up today's show. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. We're rounding out this Thursday episode here.
We are, and what better way to round it out than we have another comment.
Oh.
Super positive in the chat today. Appreciate all you guys. SAF _ IBN _ Syad _ bacon.
Lots of underscores.
Not the
there.
most pithy username out there. He says, and I quote, "What is this crap?" Well, welcome to the show, brother. This is the afternoon shift every day, Monday through Friday.
Episode 153.
Episode 153. We've been doing it for a while. You might call it crap, but we think it's pretty good.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in and boosting our numbers.
Yeah, exactly. We appreciate the engagement. Either way, you can comment that 100 more times if you want to. That would be great.
And please do it. Give us a follow on Instagram as well.
Instagram as well. You can DM Paul and you can say all that stuff, disparaging stuff to him. He's got to read it. We don't. Afternoon shift _ Fox 9.
There are more fans out there than haters, though. There really
for
are.
Sure. The people that are negative are always going to be louder. You know, you should see the things people say about me on the radio station. We have a text line. You should see the things that people say about me. But funny enough, when I'm outside, when I'm at the Target Center, nobody's ever come up to me and said it to me in real life, except for that one guy that tried to fight me at the fair. But that was a different story. That wasn't like a preview oblivious
Yes.
beast. Nobody ever tries to come up and say it's a loud minority.
Yeah, people are high and mighty when they're on their phone texting and commenting on YouTube. It's easy to do that.
You feel strong. It's just like people from behind their cars. You know, you feel more powerful. You feel anonymous. You're not anonymous.
You're not.
We're gonna come find you. No, I'm just kidding. We don't care. We really don't care.
We're nice guys.
We are. We're nice.
Until you cross us.
We're just trying. We're just trying to have fun, give you the news in a fun, non-stiff suit and tie kind of way. But there's nothing wrong with the suit and ties. We're just trying to give you a different experience. So thank you, Mr. Bacon, for tuning in, and we wish you the best.
I like mine extra crispy.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, please. I like it with eggs too.
Yes, absolutely. Bacon is elite. One of the best foods of all time.
Yes.
And speaking of one of the best, we got the best of the best in the chair today.
Yes, we did. We had Ian Leonard in the chair. We had Nicole Middendorf in the chair. We talked Waymo and the Kennedy assassination. We did it all today.
We really did it all. So we're gonna take a break for the day. You're out of here for the week.
I'm in Chicago. Chicago, that toddling town.
Let's go. Yes. Blowing away to the Windy City. Yes. But I'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow. You got 22 hours. Do with it what you will. In the meantime, I'm Max Fuller.
I'm Adam Llorens.
The 5 o'clock news starts right now.
This is Fox 9 News at 5.
Thanks so much for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Simone Woolridge.
And I'm Kelsey Carlson. Here's a look at some stories that we are following this afternoon. Well, you might want to give your home insurance policy a second look tonight. Some homeowners now getting charged much more for wind and hail coverage. We'll take a look at that. And an investigation into animal neglect at a rescue in Whatwan County. Our Karen Scullen is digging into that case for us. We're just a few days away from that border battle game now between the Vikings and the Packers. So how Justin Jefferson is preparing for this big game against Green Bay on Sunday. And Thanksgiving just 1 week away officially today. And a lot of people are heading out of town, what you can expect at the airports if you are traveling after the government shutdown, and how things are stabilizing after that.
Yeah, let's start though with Chief Meteorologist Ian Leonard with your weather on the 9s. Today another decent day, not too much sunshine, but decent.
Decent, yeah. It was relatively warm considering our average high is 40. Without much in the way of sun, we topped out at 48. I'd call that a win for today. And as we start to look toward the weekend, we are all winter chicken dinner. High temperatures today, upper 30s along the Canadian border, but everywhere else in the 40s. So even without a lick of sunshine, temperatures were well above average from Hibbing and Brainerd all the way down to New Ulm and Mankato and all parts in between. We're starting to clear the clouds right now, and that trend continues tonight and through the day tomorrow. Now think back to last weekend, 60s and 70s. I am talking about another great weekend, just not quite that great. We are talking about warmer temperatures all the way to Monday, but then the wheels fall off. Rain showers Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night are the gateway to what at this point I'll just call a cool Thanksgiving. I don't want to use the word chilly yet, but once you see the 7-day forecast, I'm confident that both Kelsey and Simone will want me to start using the word chilly. I'm just trying to be Captain Positive right now.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be alone in that assessment either.
No.
All right.
Thanks,
we'll talk about it here. We'll see in about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Ian. Well, there is an unhappy surprise coming for a lot of Minnesota homeowners. The price of home hazard insurance is going way up in many cases. But some people might not even notice an increase in deductibles for wind and hail damage. Fox 9's Corin Hoggart is live in Minneapolis tonight. So, Corin, this means that you'll pay more for your policy and you'll pay more again if something goes wrong. Not a good math equation here.
Yes, Simone, is kind of a double whammy. You are paying extra right now when everything's fine, and you'll pay extra later if something goes wrong. It's something that a lot of folks are looking at right now, including me. I actually got my home hazard insurance bill, and it went way up, 40% up. And then in a separate letter, I was notified that the deductible for wind and hail damage was going up as well, from $1,500 to $5,000. Now, the Minnesota Department of Commerce actually regulates insurers. They